Security. Okay, guys, we're back. Another live here. We're bringing the transparency to an industry that thrives off of secrecy. We're here today to expose the truth, nothing more, nothing less. Simply exercising our right to public assembly. Thank you to absolutely everyone who is in that room ready to defend the animals with us. Please make sure that you double tap the stream, like it as fast as possible. Please share it on other social medias, and please start the comments. Get the green hearts in that comment section for when the animals turn up. Let's get 100 likes in here as fast as possible. Now, our first disclaimer for today is that we are not here to cause alarm, harassment, distress, or any form of intimidation. We're here today to exercise our right to public assembly, use our freedom of speech to defend those who are being brought here today to be exploited and murdered for optional products. Now, our second disclaimer is that we are not here today to clash with non-vegans, to point fingers and to name call and to basically butt heads of you. We're here today to come alongside you, turn your head against the industry that have lied to you, and show you the reality, because when good people are shown the reality, they go vegan. It's as simple as that. Talking to vegans, I want you to put a number 1 in the chat if you're already vegan. Number 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person, you're open-minded, you're wondering why vegans are outside slaughterhouses live streaming, and put a 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you're notified when we go to different slaughterhouses all over the UK. Now, lastly, I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. And if you go into the description of this live stream, click on the 3 dots, top right hand corner, click on that first link, then you can go to Animal Aid's investigation pages, where you will see investigations that Animal Aid have conducted all over the UK to bring the transparency that these industries don't want the consumer to see. They don't want you to see, because when good people see the truth, they remove their support and they become vegan. 1 in the chat if you've already done that. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream.
I just want to say hi to some legends in the live stream. We've got Martin.
Hey guys.
We've got Shannon. We've got Active Owen. We have got Vegan Chloe, Airbus, sorry. Some absolute legends in the chat right now. Thank you so much for being in this live stream.
Yeah, thank you all for being here to defend the animals, guys. It makes a huge difference when the animals come, having the room full up so that the number 2s of the world can see them is exactly why we're here. I can hear animals in the layerish behind me. Now, guys, anyone who doesn't know where we are, we're stood outside of an ABP slaughterhouse. This slaughterhouse here, again, specifically kills cows. Cows from the dairy industry, cows from the beef industry. The reason why I say the dairy industry, the beef industry, is because the consumer doesn't understand that there are 2 different breeds of cows. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person, 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. Now, cows from the dairy industry are forced into existence. They have their males taken from them and executed because they're classed as a waste product in the dairy industry. Females go into isolation hutches. So a dairy cow will never spend any time with her babies, and the babies will never spend any time with their mums. This is the dairy industry. It's a standalone industry, not a byproduct of the meat industry. Dairy industry is a standalone industry. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person wondering why we're outside of a slaughterhouse live streaming today. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe.
My so-called life said, no way your tattoos are vegan.
Yes, my tattoos are all vegan. I go to an amazing tattooist in Southampton who is also vegan, Silk Tattooist what's his name?
Kaizen.
Right, Kaizen Skin. Go and see him. Go and get vegan tattoos. Go and get tattoos that say vegan, so when you're out in public, the world can see. Right. We need to use every little bit of skills or knowledge or t-shirt, any real estate we have on us to show what actually happens in these places. Security are outside here. I can hear the cows crying. Can you hear the cows crying from here?
Yeah.
Then bellows of mercy will never leave you as an activist. When you come to these slaughterhouses and you hear cries of bellows of mercy, of their last cries of help, it hits you hard. It fills your chest up with like a weight that you just feel like, I want to run in there and get them out. But the only way this ever stops is by good people who don't know about vegan messaging, who don't understand why we're here yet, going vegan and actually listening to what we have to say. 1 in the chat if you've already done that and you are vegan. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan yet but you are here and you are listening to what we're saying. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Subscribe and double tap the live stream. Please hit the bell notification. Now, like I said a minute ago, dairy cows are specifically exploited for their breast milk. Their babies are taken away from them. The beef industry, I don't like saying the beef industry because it's not. They're individuals. It's the industry that exploits these cows. These cows are exploited for their body tissue, their muscles, their flesh. Now, the babies will stay with their mums because they want the babies to grow as fast as possible and big as possible. Look, empty truck, empty truck, empty truck. That's exactly what's going to be coming here today, but the ones that are coming here today will have victims inside of it. I thought that he was coming in here then. I thought he was coming in really fast, to be honest, but luckily they went past. Now, the beef industry will lean, the dairy industry will lean on the beef industry. When animal rights activists tell the public babies are taken away from their mums in the dairy industry, people go, oh, no, they're not. No, they're not. I've seen the babies in the fields. Well, the babies in the fields that you see with their mums, these cows are exploited for their flesh. This isn't the same as the dairy industry. They want their babies to grow big and as fast as possible because the beef industry is all about profit. So multiply, grow as fast as possible, execute, profit margins, go again. And that's the beef industry. Standalone industry, dairy industry, standalone industry. This is why when people say I'm going to go vegetarian, it's not good enough. Vegetarian is not an ethical position against exploiting animals because you still are exploiting animals. For example, like I just said there, the dairy industry and the dairy cows. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations as to why we're here. You're wondering why vegans are outside of a slaughterhouse live streaming, and 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals.
I think the irony of this person's name called I am a pancake, but pansies are vegan.
Pansies are vegan. Listen, I don't care. If being vegan means I'm a pansy, I don't care. Well, you could say anti-racist people are pansies, anti-oppression people, anti-child slave labor people are pansies. Just because you insult my ethical position doesn't mean that my ethical position is wrong. So it's ridiculous. It's a sign of like a little 2-year-old throwing a tantrum, isn't it?
Yeah.
And stamping their feet, because basically all you're hearing from me right now is you think that I'm saying you can't do this. You shouldn't do this. You're a bad person because of this. This isn't the case. I'm saying, did you know this? Did you understand what happened to dairy cows? Do you understand what happens to pigs? Do you understand what happens to chickens? Because you probably don't. So I'm not coming here pointing my finger and judging you. I'm coming here from a point of I want to share the information that I have, because when I was told this information by Joey Carbstrong, I was able to go vegan because that aligned with my ethics and my actions. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person, 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, like, share and subscribe. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Please go into the 3 dots in the description. Please hit on the link. Go and see the investigations Animal Aid have conducted all over the UK at various places that exploit animals.
Rogue Wolf just put, your cause kills more animals in the long run. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm just thinking, should we get the umbrella out maybe? Or do...
It's not that hot yet.
Not that too bad. So what you're talking about right now is crop deaths, okay? Now, yeah, crop farming isn't veganic. We haven't got vegan farmers farming crops. So there is incidental deaths of crop farming. No one's saying that crop farming is absolutely perfect. But what you're expecting is absolute perfection before you're even willing to do the right thing. You're saying that because vegans eat vegetables and animals die in vegetable production, then therefore you can put pigs into gas chambers, you can take babies away from mums.
I think we should go around and film this because there's a small hole in that I've just seen backing up into the lairage area.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, guys, stay on this live stream. We're just going to go and show you something. Excuse the bobbly camera for a moment.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Hold that for a second. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Guys, we're just going to go and show you this.
Go.
Okay, go and see if I can get a good angle here. All right, so here, I'll be able to show you the unloading.
Look, why the secrecy? As soon as you come here, all the transparency is lost. Look, they put all the netting up so you can't put cameras through these gates so you can't see. It's as if they've got something to hide, isn't it?
Down there. I think
maybe you can go up over the top. Maybe up over the top there. There's a gap here. There's a gap here. Try up over the top.
Might have to get the phone to see.
Can't see.
Steve, you hold it, I'll check on my phone.
Yeah. What you're looking at right now, guys, you're looking at inside of a slaughterhouse here in the UK. I predict that this is the lairage area. I predict that this is where animals are being offloaded. I'm not sure what you can see. I'll wait for Mel to get up.
Hear them crying.
I can hear them crying from here, yeah. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded.
So if you turn right, that small holding truck was backing up to be washed. Turn left. Turn left again. Okay, so where that green door is there on the left, that's where they would have been unloaded. So there's a small holding truck that's in there that would have unloaded those cows inside this evil place, and now on the right, the small holding truck is now being washed down. Yeah,
Okay.
so
There you go.
we'll try again.
Or is that a truck?
Go. No, it's not a truck. Oh my gosh.
Okay, guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan. Be open-minded to these conversations and free if you don't care about animals. Just look to your right here. Look at the secrecy that these places go to. All this netting here is to prevent anyone who's walking through these fields looking inside and seeing the reality of what actually happens. These industries pride themselves on transparency, yet none of them are ever transparent. You never get a tour, you never get invited into film, you never even get 2 minutes with the animals outside the truck, outside the gates of these slaughterhouses. They don't even let the consumer see the animals before they go in. The reason being is when good people see animals before they're about to be killed.
Got it?
Sorry, say that again. Code. Yeah. When good people see the animals before they're about to be killed, it makes them feel uncomfortable. They don't want to do it. Let's just get set back up.
Yeah. Right,
Okay.
guys, we'll show you again.
Right, we're going to swap back in now. You can swap in now for a minute. You take over.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream. Please like, comment, share. We are here in collaboration with Animal Aid, who have done many investigations. There has been an investigation done on this place as well. Go to the link in the description, see the investigations for yourself, see what happens to these poor animals behind these gates of absolute evil. So behind me, this is a slaughterhouse. There's a small holding truck who's unloaded the cows into the lairage already, who is now washing down the truck, okay? They wash down the truck because the animals are so scared when they come to a slaughterhouse. They have something called an autonomic nervous system, like we all do, any sentient being does, and when you're afraid, it means that you will get rid of anything in your body so you can evade danger faster, and that's exactly what they do when they go in here. Cows can smell up to 5 miles away. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the live stream, please subscribe, please comment. We are not here hating on you, we're here trying to defend the animals from these evil industries that, thank you. Wow, support these evil industries that have lied to you. I used to pay for this, and I'm so sad that I paid for this. I used to pay for cow's milk. I didn't know that cows were forced pregnancy upon them. I didn't know they had their babies taken away from them. I didn't know that if their baby was born a male, the males are classed as a waste product. Can you believe that? They class her baby as a waste product because he doesn't produce milk, and they kill him.
People are saying that other animals eat other animals, basically, is what I'm getting the gist of some of these conversations here.
Okay, thank you for that question or that statement. Yeah, other animals do eat other animals. A very small percent do in the wild who have no other option. I still don't like it for the victim, but you cannot use their situation in Tesco's. You cannot use a survival situation in the supermarket or wherever you're living. We're not living in survival. We have options. We can choose to be kind and not oppress animals. Veganism is not a diet, by the way. It just relates to your diet. It is an ethical stance against the use and exploitation of animals. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you are not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream. Please subscribe, comment, share. Yeah.
Where are you? What are we doing here today?
Yeah, so I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. They kill cows from the dairy industry in here. They kill cows from the beef industry in here. I've been here many times before. I've looked into the eyes of these victims over and over. Some of them actually cry real tears as they go inside. They cry, they scream, they beg for mercy, and I'm here trying to defend them, because they cannot ask you for them. They cannot ask you to change for them, but I can ask on their behalf for you to change. Please watch Dominion on YouTube, see the reality of what happens to animals. Something you might not know about the egg industry, I'll tell you in a moment. When you put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you are not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream, like, comment, share. Wow, so much support.
More support, more support.
It's not often you get support at this place.
Absolutely. Things
Wow.
are changing. People are changing, you know.
Yeah,
people are changing.
People are starting to understand that this is a slaughterhouse. When they drive past here, they no longer just see gates. They no longer just see signs.
No.
They see activists with signs saying this is a slaughterhouse. So once you know, they then tell everybody else, and everyone else is like, what the hell? 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream and subscribe.
I'm looking at the comments. I can't see any genuine questions. It's just all like trolly comments. So
Okay, I'll just
as they come in, if we get any sensible questions, I'll read them out.
Yeah, okay, I'll just keep educating people on what happens in these industries.
Oh, here you are. People said we are carnivores.
No, we're not carnivores. Thank you for your question, thinking that you may be a carnivore, but no, you're not. In fact, we're omnivores and we're more herbivore, to be honest. But it doesn't matter. We thrive on a plant-based diet, so that's that. Like, it doesn't matter. Just because, like, I like cats are carnivores, but you can feed cats a plant-based diet as long as it's fortified with taurine. Same with dogs. They live longer on a plant-based diet. In fact, they live a healthier life as well, and less health issues as well.
Who TFRU2 said, why should I not eat steak?
Why you should not eat steak? Because if you were in the cow's position, you wouldn't want to be killed. Okay, that's someone's body. The same reason why you shouldn't be eating human steak is the same reason why you shouldn't be eating cow steak or any other steak. That's someone's body. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and put a 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream and please subscribe.
You can also get vegan steak like Juicy Marbles.
Yeah, Matt, great point. That's the thing. This is like such. You know what? As a vegan, I didn't know before I was vegan what you could get as a vegan. Now I'm like, what the hell? You literally get vegan steak, vegan burgers, vegan ice cream, vegan cheese, vegan everything you had before, but just the animals are not going to slaughterhouses and being oppressed because of you anymore.
Ivan Follalu said, why did you become vegan and when?
Thank you for your question of that. So about 5 years ago, I wasn't always vegan. I was 26 at the time, and I sat down on my sofa and I saw an awesome activist called Joey Carbstrong, who I didn't know at the time, but his video said something about debating the dairy industry. And I remember thinking, like, why? What's there to debate about dairy? Don't cows just produce milk? Aren't we doing them a favor? And I watched and I learned that cows need to be pregnant to produce milk. I understood that then if they gave birth to a male, they would be killed. I'll explain the rest of the story in just a moment. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, put a 2 in the chat if you're not vegan yet, but you're open-minded, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, please. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Sorry, I thought that was a truck.
Yeah, no.
So males in the dairy industry are classed as a waste products. They don't produce milk. The farmers kill them. They send them to slaughterhouses just weeks old. I've seen it. I've been out slaughterhouses with little babies this big going into slaughterhouses to be killed. If she gives birth to a female, the female is taken away and separated from the mum. And then when she's sexually mature enough, she gets forced pregnant to produce milk. Now, when the mother has this happen to her over and over and over, about 4 times, she's then sent to a slaughterhouse. That's the moment I went vegan, is when I saw inside of a slaughterhouse. I saw inside one of these places behind me, and it broke my heart. It broke everything inside me. It was like suddenly knowing I've been lied to my entire life, and then I saw the truth and I was like, I can't ever pay for that. I didn't know how to be vegan. I just knew that I couldn't pay for anyone to be oppressed for me anymore. So thank you for that question. Go and watch Dominion on YouTube and see the point that we turned vegan. Yeah, in the dairy part. Was there another question, Steve?
They are, but the chat's moving so quick that I'm losing the questions. So keep putting your questions back in. A question here from I see it's just gone. Rewrite that question in there again. Maybe 1 in the chat if you're vegan while I try and get
Yeah, guys, please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Put a number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you're not vegan yet. And number 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. That's someone who likes to stab animals in the throat or kill them, abuse them, or an animal farmer. I say animal farmer because all animal farmers abuse, kill animals.
Right, I just got this name before it flew off. Langaloo, I think it was, said, what has happened? What do they do at this slaughterhouse? What is this place? Maybe say who we're here with as well. Yeah, so I'm here at a slaughterhouse. Behind me, they kill cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry. I'm here in collaboration with Animal Aid today, who have actually done an investigation on this place. You can go and look in the link in the description to see for yourself. Basically, what happens is factory farm trucks with animals come in, small holding trucks with animals come in. There's one in there at the moment being washed down. I can hear them crying.
They get taken, backed up into this lairage area at the very back, where the cows will then go into like a dungeon. That's what I call it. It's a horrible, horrible place. They then wait until the kill floor is ready for them to go into the kill floor. Let me explain more in a moment. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, please subscribe. So what happens when they enter the slaughterhouse kill floor? They get taken into what's called a knockbox. I didn't even see this one in here. Empty truck. See how, like, stay on this live stream, you'll see exactly what I mean when I say factory farm trucks and small holding. So this is a massive truck coming out right now with cows that had cows on, who are now empty. How could you? How could you? How could anybody do this to animals? How could you do this? Where's your heart? Where is your heart? You cannot have a heart if you send animals to a slaughterhouse. You cannot have a heart if you farm animals. This is horrific. This is horrible. These people need to be held accountable for their actions. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream and please comment, like, share. Please ask questions in this live chat. We are not here to hate on you. We're here to purely educate and defend those animals. You have to apply pressure to these workers here. You have to apply pressure to the truck drivers, because without those people working in these industries, these places would not exist. Please put number 1 in the chat if you're vegan, number 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you are not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you are anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream and subscribe.
Oh, just gone again. There's a comment from Jose saying that it's basically a supply and demand issue.
Yeah.
Explain that. Well, thanks for that comment, Jose.
Yeah, thank you so much for that prompt. This is all about supply and demand. So this is where you have a direct effect on what happens. This isn't like we should lobby the government and other places. Like, you can do that as well, but the public hold the power to this. This is why we must be vegan, because being vegan, you don't pay for this. If you're not vegan, you're effectively voting with your money. Every time you purchase shoes with leather, every time you purchase makeup that has been tested on animals, every time you purchase a steak made of an animal's body, every time you purchase cow's milk and eggs, you're voting with your money and asking them to kill animals again and again and again for you. If you stop paying them, the supply goes down, the demand goes down, so then the supply will go down as well. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live and please subscribe.
Ha ha ha, 12C5D, but how do you get healthy sources of protein without having to take supplements?
Okay, thank you again so much for your comments. So first of all, I'll go on the protein part. Protein all comes from plants. Plants is the only place that actually makes protein. So you can have like tofu, seitan. I mean, peas are full of protein, beans. It's super easy. As long as you're meeting your calories per day, you'll get protein in by default as a vegan. If you're not vegan, let me just explain the other situation of B12, I presume you're talking about. 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Please put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live and please subscribe. So when you talk about supplements, I don't take any supplements. I don't take any supplements, but that was a worry I had beforehand. I didn't understand. The only thing that you need to maybe look for is B12. B12 is actually injected into the animals, okay, that you then eat secondhand. So people often say, oh, vegans need supplements, but actually people who eat animals are getting a supplement secondhand through the animal's body, and you're not getting enough, so you need to get a supplement. So isn't it better just to take a supplement and not kill animals for the supplement? I'm just going to switch in with Steve quickly.
Excellent. Yeah, well done. This makes you can see the comments a lot better.
Okay,
they're moving
cool.
fast, so I have to keep pausing it.
Yeah.
Guys, 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to why vegans are live streaming outside of the slaughterhouse, 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Please double tap the stream. We want as many likes in here as we can. Let's get over 200 likes before the next animal truck arrives, so that the room is nice and full, so you can see the reality that we're trying to show you. Again, we're not trying to clash with you. We're trying to bring you alongside us and show you the injustice that has lied to you. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person, 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Now, this comment went really fast. I can remember the beginning. I think it was Ivana, something was your handle. Apologies, I forgot it. The comment was, can you eat eggs as a vegan? And the answer is no. Eggs are an exploitative product that comes from animals. In fact, I don't even like to call them a product. I know, I just heard that too.
They're killing them, I can hear them crying.
You can hear them crying on the kill floor from here. That just threw me off as well. No, you cannot eat eggs. Please go to watch Dominion on YouTube and see the reality behind eggs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's really throwing me off, that cry of help.
Yeah.
It's just heartbreaking. It's like you hear these noises sometimes, and I know what I'm trying to say, but it just hurts me so much, because I could just imagine the fear and they're like 200 meters away, and I can't stop it. The only way I can stop this is by you listening to what we're saying and by you making different choices and being vegan. Eggs, the gas egg-laying hens 18 months old because their egg production slows down. Eggs in the egg industry, males in the egg industry are thrown inside of a macerator, which is a blender, on the first day of their life. So they're sex male or female. And like dairy cows, the males don't produce milk, the males don't produce eggs. So they're sent to slaughterhouses, to macerators, and they're blended up alive. Them little cute yellow chicks that everyone loves. Yeah. They're just thrown into a blender alive, and they're just minced up. If you go and watch Dominion, you'll see it. You can see that footage for yourself. Chris Delforce went in, and he actually filmed all of these industries that exploit animals so that we could use it as a resource to show kind, compassionate people. When I speak to kind, compassionate people, I'm talking about number twos. One in the chat if you're vegan, two in the chat if you're a kind person but you're not vegan yet. Maybe you've just not seen the reality and the truth. And three in the chat if you don't like animals, if you think that animals should be executed any way you like for you. And double tap the stream. Please like, share, subscribe. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. If you go into the description, click the three top dots in the right-hand corner, go into that Animal Aid investigation page and go and look at the investigations that Animal Aid have conducted all over the UK. Have you got any questions in there?
It's really hard to see these questions.
Yeah, you got to slow and you got to do it fast or they jump. So if the questions keep jumping, guys, keep putting the questions in. We'll do our best to get to them because our idea here today, like I was saying, is to talk to you.
Oh, I'm trying to read people's comments. Someone just said, you're basically being racist.
We're being racist. Why are we being racist? By saying don't hurt chickens, cows, sheep, pigs, lambs. Like, what's racist about being vegan? In fact, if you're not vegan, you're speciesist, and that is a form of racism. Okay,
we got Fiona Melanie. Thank you for your comment. But what are they doing? How are they killing them?
Okay, thank you very much for your comment. Let me tell you about this particular place that we're live outside of right now. This is an ABP slaughterhouse for cows. What they do is they take them all into a big lairage. They're in a big holding pen, like a big shed. They'll then call them forward into what's known as the kill floor, into a kill line. So with the cows, they'll bring them down until they're nose to tail. They'll walk them all the way forward into what's called a knock box. It's basically a big box like this, and the cows will walk forward. And as they walk forward, here, a big metal sheet comes down behind them. They're unable to turn left or right. They're able to move forward and backward. One in the chat if you're vegan, two in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a kind person, three in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, like, share, and subscribe. Once the animals are inside this knock box, they'll be shot in the head with a captive bolt gun. Everyone thinks that this is so that the animals don't feel the slaughter. That's a load of nonsense. It's a lie from the industry. What happens is the reason why they do that is because if you walk towards a cow with a knife, they try and run away, they try and fight back, and they try and evade their death. It's dangerous for someone to walk towards a 2,000 kilo animal with a knife because they could slip and kill themselves. So they bolt gun them in the head so the cows drop to the floor. They then tie a shackle around their back legs. They lift them up into the air, and whilst they're lifted up into the air, they stick a knife in their throat. They cut across their jugular, and they slash their neck open. And that cow will die in that slaughterhouse watching her or his blood pump out of their neck, watching all their friends and family around them. Small holding farmer coming out now. This is what we're saying. There's no difference between factory farming and small holding farming. This person won't talk, by the way. This person absolutely won't say a thing. How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night, profiting off of the execution of these animals? How do you sleep? Do you think it's funny? Do you think it's funny? How old were them animals you sent to be murdered inside there today? What was the profit margins on their heads? Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself what you do to these animals. One in the chat if you're vegan and you've already removed your personal accountability for what happens to animals in slaughterhouses. Two in the chat if you're a nice person, you're a kind person, but you are not vegan yet, you're listening to why we're here. Put a three in the chat if you don't care about animals. If you believe that being anti-vegan is moral and ethical, if you believe that you're so superior to animals that you can just exploit them by any means necessary, double tap the stream. Please like, share, and subscribe.
See how the smallholding farmers always laugh? They're the ones that always laugh and think it's funny.
Yeah, and I think David says it best. It's like you catch a child doing something wrong, so they laugh because they're just in guilt.
I missed the comment. It said the native something put, you can't be vegan because you've got muscle.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? You can be any shape you like and be vegan. You could be anything you like and be vegan. You can get the nutrients to bodybuild. You can get the nutrients to run marathons. You can get the nutrients to do triathlons. Your body needs nutrients. But guess what? You have this amazing option, and you have an option to choose whether their nutrients suffered and screamed and begged for mercy in a slaughterhouse, or just plants.
Twin 9 put 4 because I care about animals, but they shouldn't have the same rights as us.
Okay, thank you for your comment. I'm going to answer that after you put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations, and 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We're not saying that animals should have the right to vote. We're not saying that animals should have human rights. We're saying that animals should have the basic fundamental rights, at least 2 that I can think of, and it's their bodily autonomy. What that means is that their body is protected from exploitation. No pregnancies forced upon them, no babies taken away from them, no testing done on them. That's their bodily autonomy. And the second right that they should have, which is a very basic right, and that's the right to their own life.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we took bodily autonomy and the right to your life away from you? How would you feel? And now what we'll do, not only will we take your bodily autonomy and your right to life away from you, I'm going to mock you. I'm going to mock the oppression that exploits you, takes your babies, takes your friends, takes your families, commodifies you, put you inside these dingy, horrible farms, puts you inside these scary slaughterhouses, puts you inside gas chambers, puts you inside knock boxes. As you drive into a slaughterhouse to be executed and murdered, I'm going to laugh at you and say, steaks though, bacon though, here comes my steak, here comes my sandwiches, here comes Sunday dinner. And imagine how you would feel when your little eyes looking out the slats of them slaughterhouse trucks in hope, your little eyes sniffing, your little nose sniffing the air, scared, thinking, I'm going somewhere scary because I can smell death.
Oh,
when the
yeah.
animals come past us here today, I can see the look in their eyes. I've seen animals in sanctuaries, and I've seen the look on their faces relaxed and they're content. When animals come to slaughterhouses, I've never seen that same look. I see fear, I see terror, I see literally petrified beings, so confused. They don't know where they are, they don't know where they're going, but they do smell slaughterhouses from miles away, and they know it's not a good place. 1 in the chat if you're vegan and you've already removed your personal accountability for this. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded as to why we're here. You're curious to what we're doing outside of a slaughterhouse live. And 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're here with Animal Aid in collaboration. Please go into the description and click on their link. Gonna swap back into
Yeah,
now.
well said, guys. Keep asking questions. I love how many questions there are in the chat. There's a lot of genuine questions. There's some trolly questions, but just keep asking them because that's how we educate.
Absolutely.
We're not here to hate on anybody. We're here purely to turn your head against the industry that has lied to you personally.
Fiona Maloney, thank you for your question. Do they kill all the animals the same way?
No, so every single animal is stabbed in the throat. Sorry, I've just thought there was a truck coming.
Yeah, I'll keep looking for trucks. You do
So every single animal is stabbed in the throat, but the stunning method is different. So pigs at 6 months old are forced inside CO2 gas chambers where they actually burn from the inside out at 6 months old. Here they stun them with a bolt gun in their head, but let me just tell you that the bolt gun is not for the animals, okay? The animals still feel everything. The bolt gun is the safety of the humans around them, because when you come at a knife to like a cow or an individual, they try and evade, they try and run because they know that's bad. So cows are really strong animals. So they bolt gun them in the head to incapacitate them to the floor, and then they slit their throat open, they hang them up and they bleed out. Did you know that the chickens that you eat, they're 42 days old. They've been genetically modified to grow really large in a short space of time, and they're sentenced to a gas chamber as well. We go out to all these different places to show people the reality. The very best thing that you can do is watch Dominion on YouTube and see for yourself what actually happens. These industries lied to us, and that's the documentary I wish I saw sooner, because I love animals and I was paying for the worst things to happen for them and I had no idea.
Leo FBJ6R, but I have a question. Why would God make animals edible and give us protein if he didn't want them to be eaten?
Okay, let me ask you a question with another question. If a God is loving and kind, why did he give you a food source that screams for their life?
Yeah, exactly.
And makes them feel pain just like you do? Because in fact, if that's the way you think, then he also made humans for you to eat as well.
Absolutely.
But there's also plants in this world, and we somehow get all our nutrients from plants. So let's leave the animals alone and eat the plants directly, and you get everything you need. Like this is an unjust system. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you are not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please subscribe, please like this live stream. It helps get the algorithm out so more people see the animals with their own eyes.
Pirate Alex 6865, thank you for your question. How do you feel about honey?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. We don't talk about honey enough. Honey is an exploitative industry. So the way they basically make honey is they get the queen bee, they cut her wings off, and they put her in a hive, because where her hive is, the rest of the bees will not, they will never leave her because they're committed to her. That honey is actually for the bees. That's their food. Honey is actually bee vomit. So they store it for themselves and eat it. Humans come along, steal their food, and then put sugary water in place of their honey, which is worse for them. It makes them ill. And in fact, the honey industry, because they forcibly breed bees into existence, is actually making the actual bees, who are the wild bees, die out because of the honey industry. Thank you for that question.
I literally, as you finished your sentence, the chat just spun up and I've forgotten the handle. To whoever wrote this question, you should know that it was your question. I'm sorry that the handle shot away. Someone's put basically, what about chickens' eggs that I have on my farm where I know the chickens are looked after and cared for?
Yeah, okay, so thank you for that question. I also have rescued chickens at home as well who we rescued. So basically, egg-laying hens have been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. They naturally should only lay 12. Now, this happened years and years ago, so people often say, oh, my chickens aren't genetically modified, but they are. From the root, they have been modified. The first thing that happens with egg-laying hens, where they come from, is a hatchery. A hatchery is somewhere that they sex the male and the female. The males do not produce eggs, so what happens is that they send them into a blender, alive, or a gas chamber. They kill all the male chicks. The females, well, however you've now got your females, they would have come from a place like that. And basically, what we do with our chickens' eggs is we pick up their eggs and we smash the eggs on the floor and let them eat their own eggs because they lack so many nutrients. Let me just continue that in just a second. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live and subscribe.
I did it again.
Oh, I can see Steve making. Okay.
If you know, you know, I think it was. But you do know that captive bolt guns kill cows instantly, right? You two are dumbasses.
No, that's not true. A captive bolt gun is for the stunning process, but cows still feel everything. Okay.
Even if it did, it's still wrong.
That's what I was going to say. Even if it did kill them instantly and they felt nothing, it's still wrong, because if you're in that position and someone came into your house and they killed you and you didn't feel anything, that's murder. Just because they're a different species doesn't mean the act is different. It's still murder. It's wrong. They should have the right to their own life. Wait, let me finish the chicken thing quick because you're going a bit too fast.
The chat's just booming.
Yeah, no, with the chickens, and if you have any chickens at home, make sure you get their eggs, smash them on the floor for them so they eat their nutrients back into their bodies. They need that because they're depleted of the nutrients from laying too many eggs for their system.
Someone's put a super chat comment here, but I know how you're going to answer this. Are you pro-life or do you value human life less?
If you're not vegan, then you are not pro-life, okay? Veganism is just someone who's just a normal person who doesn't oppress others. I don't oppress humans, I don't oppress animals, but veganism is only about the animals. Because at the moment, the majority of the world are paying for the exploitation upon animals, and they can stop today. And the people who actually stop and protect animals, they're called vegans, okay? So if you're saying, oh, are we pro-life? I'm pro-life that's on this earth right now, and I'm pro-protecting them.
Digital Exploiter 77, thanks for your comment. They put,
If anyone wants their
I do wonder, animals eat animals. What do you have to say since you know it's life? Animals eat other animals, basically. I'm pleased I found that comment again.
Yeah, so thank you. I already answered the exact same question earlier. Animals do eat other animals in the wild. Some of them, a very small percent actually. The majority of them don't. The majority of them are actually herbivores. But just because someone else does something in the wild doesn't mean we should do the same. It's like lions sniff each other's bums when they meet each other. We shouldn't do the same. When a lion enters a pride and they take over, they eat all the other lions, like cubs and babies. Do you think we should do that? Do you think every stepdad should be eating the babies of like the person that he's just married? Like, no, we shouldn't judge what happens in the world and then put that into our life when we can just choose kindness and not do that. We don't have to, we got all our nutrients from plants. Put 1 in the chat please if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, please like, comment, share. I'm just gonna switch back in with Steam now.
Yeah, cool.
Keep asking questions, guys. It's really interesting for everybody to hear.
For anyone just coming back in this live stream, I just wanted to just tell you where we are, what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're here outside of a slaughterhouse live in the UK. This is an ABP slaughterhouse. They're executing and murdering cows in the facility behind me. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. If you go into the description of this live stream, click on their link. It's their investigations link that they have done investigations all over the UK on industries that exploit animals. Go and see the reality for your truth. For the truth, you can see the videos, etc. in there. We're here today not to clash with people. We're here to come alongside you and show you the industry's transparency. And this industry thrives off secrecy.
Jay-Z put, how do we get protein?
You get protein from plants. Plants, all protein comes from plants. It comes from the amino acids in the soil during photosynthesis. The animals that are exploited for their body parts eat plants. That's how they get the amino acids in the first place. Amino acids from plants into, for example, the cows. The cows then are forcefully grown and then sent to slaughterhouses to be killed. The cows are there for taste, pleasure and profit margins when actually you can just go straight to the source. Why would you not? You need nutrients, not ingredients. You can choose your ingredients that didn't scream for their life inside of a slaughterhouse.
Someone said I'm vegetarian. Is that okay?
No, vegetarian is not okay. And actually, a lot of people go vegetarian for ethic reasons. They don't want to hurt animals. But the cows that will be going inside this facility behind me today to be murdered will be dairy cows. Dairy is its own standalone industry. Dairy cows have pregnancies forced upon them, have babies taken from them. The males born will be executed on the first day of their life to maybe 2 or 3 months in for veal. The females will go into isolation hutches until they're sexually mature enough to go back on the dairy line. Dairy cows are executed and murdered when their milk production slows down. If you're vegetarian, this is a system that you would support. Same as eggs. Male chicks in the egg industry are sent into blenders, and the egg laying hens are gassed at around 18 months old when their egg laying production slows down. Also, a vegetarian may pack a plant-based picnic and go to the zoo where animals are enslaved and captive for profit margins. Again, this is against the ethics of a vegan. Vegan is someone who is just against exploiting animals. Done. Full stop. 1 in the chat if you've already done that. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded as to why 2 vegans are outside of a slaughterhouse right now live streaming, but you're a kind person, you want to know what's going on. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream. Please like, share, subscribe. We've got nearly 300 likes in this room. When the animals turn up today, you're going to see them with your own eyes. Sorry, did I go too quick?
No, sorry. Honey, thank you for your question. But what is your... A dairy-free vegetarian. I am lactose intolerant and vegetarian. So you're a vegetarian, but you don't have milk.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen. The reason why you're lactose intolerant is because you're not a baby cow. We shouldn't be drinking cow's milk anyway. It's a completely different species. So I take it that you're a vegetarian who may still eat eggs. Well, I just told you about the egg industry there. That the males in the egg industry are blended up alive or gassed. They're a waste product. Egg-laying hens are gassed at 18 months old. The egg industry is a standalone industry. The chickens exploited for eggs are a different breed of chickens exploited for their body parts. Body chickens, Franken chickens, are grown into the size of an adult body within 42 days before they get sent to gas chambers to be executed and chopped up into sandwiches. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're open-minded. This is why we're here. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream. Make sure you subscribe with the bell notification as we go to slaughterhouses live all out throughout the week to show you the truth.
SEO, thank you for your comment. So how do you justify the number of animals killed growing and harvested plants for food? More animals are killed harvesting food for vegans than meat eaters.
Okay, you could justify it because if we didn't have them crops being grown, we'd have civilization collapse. It's not a taste pleasure, that's for civilization collapse. When you talk about crops being grown, by the way, you can't point fingers at vegans and say that we're responsible for the most amount of deaths when the animals that are executed for your taste pleasure also have crops grown for them. So you've got 90 billion land animals all having crops grown to feed them. So when they get to adult size, they get into a slaughterhouses to die. So on your shoulders, you not only have the animals that you send to slaughterhouses, you also have the animals that were killed in the production of the crops to feed them animals that you send to slaughterhouses. Now, farmers aren't vegan. We haven't got veganic farming systems out there. We should have. We have the ability to do it. But how the hell am I going to convince a farmer to stop shooting rabbits and birds when I can't convince farmers to stop smashing piglets' head against the floor, when I can't convince farmers to stop forcing pregnancies on cows, when I can't convince farmers to stop killing lambs, to taking babies away from their mums? How am I ever going to say stop shooting rabbits to protect the crops? Farmers aren't vegan at the moment, but when we do get a vegan world, we have a majority of vegan farmers who will then go to veganic farming systems like, what's it called, vertical farming.
Preston Rogers, but do you support farmers?
plant farmers. And I support plant farmers going to veganic farming.
Yeah.
There are things out there like Viva Refarmed who go and help these systems change and diversify away from exploiting animals.
Hunter0296 put, animal intelligence is lower than human intelligence.
It doesn't matter. What about humans who have the same intelligence level as a cow or a chicken or a pig? Whatever animal you're referring to, saying that they're less intelligent. By the way, I don't believe that animals are less intelligent. You said that animals are less intelligent. Well, some animals like dogs can smell diabetic blood sugar levels in humans. You can't do that. So if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's stupid. But, you know, look at them for who they are. This is the thing. You're objectifying animals. You're saying that they're dumb, stupid animals and they don't matter.
I think it was trucks coming.
Oh, gosh.
Is that a truck?
Oh, God.
See the animals for yourself here now. There's two.
Hey, babies. Oh, we're here, we're here.
There's one.
We will let the world know. We'll let the world know. These animals do not deserve to die. These animals are someone. They matter. We're sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry. I'll never stop defending you. Never stop defending them. See the lack of transparency. See the lack of honesty. See the lack of any education from the industry to the consumer.
In a minute, we will show you.
Wait. Can we see? No, we can't see.
In a minute, we'll show them
Yeah.
the unloading in a moment.
Yeah. Let's get set back up with our thing. Oh, it's just heartbreaking. I absolutely hate these moments. What you're looking at right there, guys, is a trailer, in my opinion, with slaves on it. They have numbers, not names. They've been absolutely commodified. They've been controlled their whole life. They're having everything taken away from them because now they're deemed unprofitable. They're deemed a waste product or just a profit margin now. Absolutely
Who was
horrific.
in there? Let's see on there. Who was in there?
Have a look whilst we... Here you go. No, yeah, I'll do it whilst...
It's right. Yeah, you keep talking for a second. I'll get it up.
In my opinion, this is no different to the slave trade. Oh my gosh, that whole trailer is shaking left to right. They just realised where they are most probably.
Beef cows and dairy cows on there.
Mixture of the two cows. Like we talked about earlier, guys, mixture of the two industries. Put the umbrella up, we can see it better.
The whole thing's shaking. That's who's in there. Mothers from the dairy industry. Please be vegan and help them.
Oh, look at her dear face. Hearts in the chat for the animals. Oh my gosh, such an injustice. This is a cruel, evil world. This should never, ever, ever be happening. Do not be the reason that these animals are going inside these facilities to die. You can stop this. If we weren't here today, they would have disappeared into the darkness without anyone seeing them. They would never have been seen. This is why we're here today. We're here to show you the reality. We're here to show you the truth behind this. We're here to give you the education needed so that you can make an educated decision on what's going on. At the moment, you didn't even know that dairy cows and beef cows are two different cows. You didn't even know that these two different systems coexisted. You thought the cows were cows. They just produce milk because that's just what they do. Cows eat grass and produce milk. No, cows produce milk because they're mums. 1 in the chat if you're vegan. 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the live stream. Please like, share and subscribe. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Please go into the description. Please click on that link. Please go and look at the investigations that Animal Aid have done all over the UK to bring the reality and the truth to light. Why does it take animal rights activists and animal rights activist organisations to bring the consumer the reality and the truth? Why isn't the RSPCA out here doing this? Why isn't the RSPCA Assured scheme actually doing this? Why haven't we got any of these animal charities defending animals? Because they're all part of the system. The RSPCA Assured logo made £4 million. £4 million, or around £4 million, off of animals being sold in supermarkets alone because their stamp of approval was on their body parts.
Should we go get that
disgusting.
unloading? Get that unloading?
Yeah.
See if we can show you.
Can I have the umbrella?
Okay, guy, we're just
Do you want to talk whilst we're doing it?
Yeah, just going to go and show you the unloading here, guys, see if we can see anything. Oh, gosh. So we just got to climb over. Oh, it's all right, I can do it.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're just going to see if we can get the unloading.
Can you hear that?
going around the back of it. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet.
Where's going to be the best way?
There was a gap here, wasn't there? Okay. Right, let's try and zoom in.
Do you want to get your phone out and I'll hold it?
Yeah.
All right. I got it. Bless you. All right, get your phone out and let's have a look.
Yeah, to your left a little bit. Okay, to your right. This is what. Oh, so in that one, so you need to go further up there to get the angle.
Whereabouts?
Go this way a little bit. You need to go here to get the angle from the side. Okay, left. You'll be able to see to your left. Guys, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. This is where they go. So they come in on these trucks, they get taken into this lairage to be killed. Not sure we've missed them coming off or not. What will happen here is they'll stay in this lairage, which I call a dungeon, before they get sentenced to the kill floor where they're stabbed in the throat. Yeah, no. Okay, we'll go back to the front.
This, and then we'll go back. Got it?
I think there's 2 entrances to that lairage, so I thought there'd be in the other one. Guys, I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. Please like, comment, share. Put a number 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this like. Please subscribe. Oh, this is the worst place. These are the worst places on earth. Please don't fund them with your money. We're not here to hate on you guys. We're here to educate and show you the reality of what happens to these poor animals.
Oh gosh. All right, I'm pass this to you.
Yeah. I've got it.
Sit.
All right, we're just gonna get our camera set up again. See how there's been factory farm trucks, small holding trucks coming in this horrible place today. You want to take that a second?
Yeah. Oh my God. I hate these places so much. Here you go.
All right, so back up, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, guys, so what we're doing there, basically round the back, we can get round and we can film the unloading, but I think we just missed those poor cows coming off. But basically they were dairy cows from the dairy industry, grieving mothers. Is that a truck?
It looks like a refrigeration truck.
Okay, yeah, so here is the only way the animals come out of these places, chopped up into body parts, chopped up into pieces inside these things. Those animals enter in those dungeon-like trucks, they come out in these. This is how close you are to the injustice. You pay your money, they kill the animals. You pay it, they die. It's literally that. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Please put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream and subscribe. I'm out of slaughterhouse today. We're here in collaboration with Animal Aid. At this particular slaughterhouse, it has been investigated by Animal Aid. Go and see the investigation in our link in the description. See for yourself what happens in these awful facilities. In fact, the majority of places we go have been investigated and they've all had horrific things happening. Every place has horrific things happening, but it's when you put a camera in, you find the criminal activity that happens on top of the exploitation as standard. Everything we're talking to you about right now is standard practice in these industries. Don't take my word for it. Go and watch Dominion on YouTube and see yourself what happens. That's 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but you aren't vegan yet. 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live, like, comment, and please subscribe.
Pebble V3 is saying fake news.
Fake news, yeah, they're probably from the farming industry themselves, because why would I give up my time, drive hours to a location that breaks my heart, look into the eyes of someone who's about to be stabbed in the throat for fun? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
What kind of psychopath would do that? I wish it was lies. I wish I didn't have to be here. I wish the animals were free and they had rights and our species wasn't so horrible to them. They didn't even need rights in the first place because we were kind naturally. I wish that.
Ha 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 again, as ha 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 L2C5D. What's your stand on seafood? I don't like calling them seafood, sea animals, I believe.
Sea animals, yeah, that's exactly it. They're not food and they're sentient individuals who deserve a right to their own life. So as we're talking, we are here outside of a slaughterhouse where they kill cows from the dairy industry and beef industry. But I'm also here for the pigs who are forced inside gas chambers. I'm also here for the fish who are ripped out of the ocean and battered round the head until they die and suffocate to death. I'm also here for the greyhounds who are forced to race around those horrible tracks. I'm also here for the mice, the pigs, the sheep who are exploited on, tested on, those beagle puppies who are tested on. Here in the UK, by the way, MBR, check it out, Camp Beagle, go and support them. They've been outside of MBR acres for around 5 years now. They're still breeding puppies and testing on them. That's still happening in our country. How horrific is that? Don't be one of those people that pay for that.
Moon, as per, I have a question. What about people with iron problems? The iron supplements are a temporary help, but humans need meat from iron.
You think humans need iron from meat, you mean? No, you don't. Iron comes from plants. You can just have green leafy veg. What was the vitamin? I think it's vitamin A with kale. Gives you like the best absorption of iron. And in fact, if it was me, if I had an iron deficiency, like, I would never kill an animal. I would never kill a human to take their iron from them.
You can also go on to nutritionfacts.org and type in vegan sources of iron and just work it out.
Yeah, that's just a quick Google search. But I think people are lazy until they understand the why vegan.
Yeah.
Why vegan is for the animals. Go and watch Dominion on YouTube and see for yourself what happens to the animals, because when your why is strong enough, all these questions that you're worried about, they fade away very quickly. Like, you would quickly just put, where can I get all my iron from? And in fact, you're not vegan right now and you still haven't got enough iron. So that kind of says it all as well, doesn't it? Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, please subscribe.
Anyone joining? Where are we? What are we doing today? Who are we here with?
Yeah, I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. Behind me they're killing cows from the dairy industry and the beef industry. We've just witnessed a truck go in full of those deer cows that we showed you earlier. We might show them again to you in a moment. They went through these gates of evil here. They've been unloaded off into a lairage. A lairage is basically a dungeon where they wait until the kill floor is ready for them to be stabbed in the throat. That's what happens to these individuals. Did you know 20% of cows are pregnant when they get taken to slaughter? Did you know that? Did you know in the pig industry, when a piglet isn't growing fast enough, what they do is they grab the piglet's back legs, they swing them in the air and they smack their head on the floor and kill them. It's called knocking. It's what happens in these industries. This is all standard practice, by the way. This isn't like a cruelty case. This is standard practice. They then throw these 6-month pigs into CO2 gas chambers to be killed. We've investigated farms. We've investigated these places ourselves. We've seen individuals with our own eyes that sit on our hearts every single day. We never forget the eyes you see if you're like in these awful places that I can only call concentration camps. 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live. Please comment, share, subscribe. Was there another question?
No, we just had a really triggered troll paying $19.99 US, who actually has, their handle is Kitten T3 and their picture is of a cat, I believe, if I can see the sun glares on here. They paid $20 to say, I love meat of all types and the things you guys are describing sounds yummy.
Meat of all types, so you're gonna eat a cat. What age do you eat your cat?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes those who are the most triggered are the ones who actually love animals, but basically a triggered reaction is a genuine thing. Basically your brain cells like switch off and you can only use your emotional brain cells, which is why people don't know what to say and they just put meat emojis and plants feel pain and stuff like that. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream and please subscribe. I'm out of slaughterhouse today showing people the reality of what happens in these industries. Did you know cows in the dairy industry all get sent to a slaughterhouse? Did you know that cows are not dairy cows? They're actually just mums. They're just mothers.
Someone called Failure keeps putting, I have a question. What do you say if someone has an eating disorder that may stop them from becoming vegan?
I'd say that's a load of rubbish. No one has an eating disorder that stops them from becoming vegan. Veganism isn't about food. No, it's not a diet. It's a moral stance against the use and exploitation of animals. It's a little bit like, oh, you know what? I just love my dog so much, but I've got an eating disorder, so I'm going to stab him in the throat today and have him for a burger.
Yeah, or should I be driven to find out how I can fix this by not hurting animals?
Yeah, exactly. Eating disorders don't mean you can't be vegan. It's just, you know what? It's a load of crap, you know, because everything you can have, like, before, you get as a vegan anyway. You're having a vegan alternative for absolutely everything. There's zero excuse. There's zero excuse. What excuse would you make when you look into the eyes of those animals who are being stabbed in the throat right now? Sorry, I need your breast milk because even though I'm not a baby cow, I have an eating disorder. No, you used to have something else.
Yeah,
One in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream, please. Like, comment, share. Go to nutritionfacts.org. It will show you all the nutrients, everything that you need on there. It's really easy. We didn't need any of that though. I just ate what I ate before, but without the victim.
Jimmy Page 1969 says, why don't you try and send the message for people to eat less meat, not cut it out completely?
I will never, ever, ever do that. That is betraying the animals, betraying my morals and my principles. Is it okay if we just stab your family a little bit less? Is it okay if, oh, you know what? If you've got 5 members of your family, we'll just eat one this week and then we'll eat one next week. You would say, stop hurting any of them. People often go to this less thing, but less is crap. Everybody I talk to says, I eat less, I eat less. It's like a get out of jail free card, because if they say I eat less, then they think I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, it's not good enough. Like, you're grown adults. This isn't rocket science. You just don't pay for what's not yours. It's like 5 food things, and then you just don't pay for exploitation on animals through horse racing, greyhound racing, and you just go to the flipping arcade or something. It's so easy. I don't have to babysit you to be like, oh, less. It's crap. It's absolutely crap. In fact, it makes me rage when people say, oh, I'll just try a meatless Monday. It's a load of rubbish.
What turned you vegan?
The dairy industry. Seeing the animals with myself, with my own eyes, seeing them inside a slaughterhouse, seeing that mother cow looking so afraid, suffering around people with knives who are stabbing her in the throat. That's her body. That's her babies. We should never be doing that to anybody. We should live vegan instantly. It's urgent.
Shannon B6P, I am a beekeeper. Am I a bad person? I harvest, I leave food, I treat illness, and I don't clip wings. Yes.
So I'm not saying that you're maybe inherently a bad person, but what you're doing is bad, yes. Your action towards those bees is bad. No one should be a beekeeper. Bees aren't here to keep, like when you're stealing their honey, what you replace with sugary water. What do you do when the honey production slows down? A lot of people actually burn the hives alive. They burn them alive. They use gas on them and they burn them. When you forcibly breed these animals into existence, you take the sperm from the males, right? What do? You literally squeeze him, you kill him, get his sperm, inject it into the female.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, 40 Facts, for your kind donation. The comment is, gotta say, I appreciate and respect hearing your perspective on veganism and keeping true to your morals. I myself am a number 2 on the sign, but with education.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, firstly, for your donation. That really helps us keep fighting for the animals. It means a lot. Thank you for your open and honesty. Thank you for being a number 2 who is open-minded. Look, we're not here to say you guys are bad people. You're not. You just don't know what I know yet, and it's not your fault that you don't know that. I saw inside a slaughterhouse and I realized that we didn't have to do this to animals, so of course I chose the option where I didn't. And I think it's the most urgent issue of our time. It's literally on our shoulders. Every time we purchase with our money for animal exploitation, whether it's meat, eggs, dairy, fish, leather, wool, animal testing facilities, you're asking them to harm animals, exploit animals on your behalf. That's something I can't live with, because I wouldn't want to be in that position. I recommend please go and watch Dominion on YouTube. That'll explain it way more, because my words can never truly tell you how awful this is for the animals until you see it with your own eyes. Are we switching over? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Said really well. Sorry, I've got
So
the wrong
it's hard
thing.
with that, isn't it?
Okay, guys, yeah, exactly. Like what Mel just said, these industries are supply and demand industries, and this is why we're here today, because this is directly consumer-driven violence. And when you come to the consumer with the reality, the truth, and the transparency, they're educated on whether they want to continue to perpetuate that violence or they want to take their personal accountability of it away and be vegan. Put one in the chat if you've already done that. 2 in the chat if you're a good person, but you're not vegan yet, but you're listening to what we're saying. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals.
FHRT 388. But what do you think about non-industrial farming and when people have animals on their own land?
Thank you very much for your question and for being in here. There's no right way to do the wrong thing. We're not here for better welfare. We're not here for bigger cages. We're not here for greener grass. We're not here to make sure animals are looked after before they get sent to slaughterhouses. We're here today to say that animals should have the right to their bodily autonomy and their life. There's no right way to do the wrong thing. What if I was to say I'm a child trafficker, but don't worry, I traffic all the children in Teslas. They have Nintendo 64, Switch, whatever it is, to play on the way to the countries where I'm sending them to be exploited. I make sure they have all the new comfy trainers and clothes. I have the highest welfare, and I only do like maybe 10 a month to make sure that I can maintain the high standards that I traffic them in. You'd say stop trafficking children, because for the individual it matters, and that's the exact same thing for the animals. Stop trying to exploit animals in a better way, because there is no right way to do it, and for the individual it matters.
Fiona Maloney just said, I saw it happen on Animal Aid. Horrible what happens after they are killed.
Yeah,
well done for going and seeing that.
Thank you very much for clicking on Animal Aid's link in description and going to see what the actual reality and truth is like. And now you may understand exactly why we are here. We are here today to bring that truth to you. If none of you have done it yet, please do what Fiona did. Please click on the 3 dots in the top right hand corner. Go into the Animal Aid description. It's just the top link, the investigations link. Them investigations are all done in the UK. Go and have a look at the best of British standards. Go and see what you think for yourself.
Yeah. Blue Crooper, I am a good person. What do you mean just because I don't like it? Just because you don't like it don't mean we are bad. I think it's like I'm a good person, but I'm not vegan just because you don't like it.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, if you may be a good person, right? And number 2s are good people, but they're just not vegan yet because they haven't seen the truth. But what I mean by this is, when a good person with a kind heart and empathy sees what happens to animals, and then they go, well, it doesn't matter, I want my bacon sandwich. You're no longer a good person, in my opinion, because how would a good person see an injustice? How would a good person see a victim? How would a good person understand that they're personally responsible for the suffering, exploitation and murder of that victim and then not do anything about it? That's a bad person. If I was stood here saying that we should oppress Group X because they look like this, you'd say you're a bad person for knowingly oppressing that group. It's just simple. It's just, you don't like it if you're the person who's being held the mirror up against. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan but you're a good person who's just not heard about animal rights or veganism yet. 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Remember, we're not here to clash with you. I'm not here to butt heads with you and to say I'm a better person, but I'm here to say the reality is that if you knowingly pay for what happens to animals, that's not a good thing. That's not a good person.
Yeah, 100% agree. Matthew, thank you for your kind donation.
Thank you.
He put, this man is pretending to be vegan. Look how bulky he is. That man gets all his protein from meat.
Thank you very much for your compliments about my size and being bulky. I'm going to take it in a good way rather than saying that you just think that I look a little bit chubby, which I probably am as well. But listen, the reason why you can build muscle on a vegan diet is because your body needs nutrients, and I can select my ingredients, and I select to eat tofu tempeh, I select to eat seitan, I select to eat lentils, legumes, vegan burgers, vegan sausages, vegan chicken as my protein sources, because I don't want to be personally responsible for animals being murdered inside slaughterhouses or exploited in any means. So yeah, absolutely. Go and watch Dominion. Go into the description. Go and look at the Animal Aid investigations. Go and look at John the Bodybuilder Vegan. Go and see Hench Herbivore. Go and look at nutritionfacts.org. Go and educate yourself. Our objective today is to emotionally motivate you to educate yourself.
Moon they're in. Sorry if I said your name wrong, but please answer this. I have an eating disorder from being autistic. That limits me from eating vegan food. I can't eat vegan food. It makes me want to feel like I need to throw up because it's different.
Listen, you need to know why you should be vegan first. Because when you know why, if you are someone who is thinking to yourself, I no longer want to be the person who is responsible for exploiting animals, that stays true and that becomes your anchor. The how questions, what you're asking me right now is a how question. These are a lot more easily answered when you're motivated for a why. I don't know if your motivation for a why is there yet. It doesn't sound like it is. If it is, then please go and watch Dominion. Please go and watch Pignorant on YouTube and Amazon Prime. Please sign up to Challenge 22. Please go to Animal Aid, the link in the description. Please go and look at their vegan pledge. Please go and message John the Bodybuilding Vegan. Please research nutritionfacts.org. You can go and get help with people saying, I like this texture, where can I replicate this texture? And actually, a lot of the vegan replacements now, like the mock meats, they're exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly the same. I was going to bring up the vegan sausage connoisseur who got tricked on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. They put 2 vegan sausage rolls in front of him and said which one was the vegan one. He ate one and he said, oh, this is the best sausage roll I've ever had. That one's an animal. He ate the other one and spat it out and said, oh, it's disgusting. It just tastes like slop. In fact, they were identical sausage rolls. And this is it. A lot of that is all in your mind. When your why is your driver to be vegan, how? Sensory taste pleasure, protein, social pressure, all these are easily answered.
Is this a truck?
I think it might be. No, it's a waste. It's a waste. Waste. That's fine.
Bro,
that's waste. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to these conversations.
Gross.
3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. Double tap the stream. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you to everyone with these comments. These questions are really good.
Unknown one. I have poultry. Am I bad?
Yes.
Even saying poultry disgusts me.
I can say yes, because like what Melda said, the way that you refer to them as poultry, it objectifies them. It turns them into an object or a commodity, not the individuals that they are. If someone says to us, do you have any chickens at home? I say, yeah, we have rescue hens at home.
Yeah.
Our rescue hens live with us.
Yeah.
Our rescue hens are part of our family. We don't call them poultry. The way that you call them poultry, yes, and you most likely do commodify them, you most likely do steal their eggs, and you most likely potentially could even kill them and eat them yourself. If you exploit animals or view animals as a product for you to have, take, use and exploit, you're bad. Simple. If you don't want to be bad, good news is you go and turn up to a number 1. Number 1 in the chat if you're vegan and you've already removed your personal accountability and violence towards animals. 2 in the chat if you're a kind person, but you're open-minded to why vegans are live streaming outside of a slaughterhouse to bring you the truth. And 3, if you're someone who doesn't care about animals. Double tap the stream. How many likes have we got right now?
We've got 431 likes today.
Let's get 500 likes before the next truck turns up.
Fiona Maloney, I just want to say thank you so much for being so open-minded today and asking so many genuine questions.
Yeah.
She put, what do they do to chickens and pigs?
Okay. Now, when you talk about chickens, there are 2 different types of chickens, 2 different breeds of chickens. You've got egg-laying hens and you've got chickens who are exploited for their bodies. I'll brush over both so you get a bit of an understanding. Egg-laying hens, when their eggs are hatched, the males are classed as a waste product. They get thrown into a blender and just blended up alive, goes to pet food. Chickens who are female will get sectioned off and get sent off into big barns, and they're called free range. Doesn't mean they're on the grass and running in the fields like everyone thinks they are. Free range barns, big barns, 15,000 hens in a barn up to one time. We've investigated them on our main channel. You can go and have a look at our investigations and see them yourself. When their egg laying production slows down at 18 months old, they get sent to gas chambers. That's egg laying hens. Chickens who are born to be exploited for their bodies are grown into the size of an adult within 6 weeks, 42 days. They're boys and girls, their sex doesn't matter. They're all exploited. They all get sent to gas chambers and killed in CO2 gas chambers and then get chopped up and put into whatever packaging it may be. And that's chickens that you eat. Gas chambers. Piglets at 6 months old, piglets go inside a CO2 gas chamber. If you want to know the pig industry in depth, then please go and watch Pignorant on Amazon Prime by Joey Carbstrong. Go and subscribe to Joey Carbstrong's channel as well.
Okay, we've got a couple of super thanks. One's about to run out.
Okay.
Matthew, thank you so much. He put, are you saying vegan is the only right way and we have to change? And what happens when all these animals overpopulate? And before we just comment back, thank you, Liam Bryan. We'll get to your comment in a moment as well. Thank you for your donation too.
Yes, veganism is the only way. Veganism is the only lifestyle that removes exploitation for animals, full stop.
Yeah.
And all the animals will go extinct and we will no longer be forcing them into existence. And that's absolutely the moral and ethical thing to be done. Absolutely. Thank you for your super thanks for your question.
Okay, and then Liam's question is, animals have been bred
I think I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, multiply, but not eating them would cause a huge economic disaster. What do you think about that?
Oh, it would cause an economic disaster. And actually, no.
Have been bred.
Go on.
I think he means animals have been bred like to do this. Basically.
Animals have been bred for this purpose,
Yeah.
and if we didn't do it, we'd have an economical disaster. Is that what you're basically saying? Okay, first of all, just because they've been bred into existence to be exploited and chopped up and killed in slaughterhouses doesn't make that ethical. I could say to you that I'm going to breed dogs for dog fighting, and I'm going to make them fight till one kills another. You wouldn't say that just because I've said that I've selectively bred them for that purpose, that then is ethical or moral. And if you want to talk about civilization collapse, actually animal agriculture is the biggest cause of deforestation and wildlife habitat destruction in the world. 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're not vegan. Be open-minded to these conversations, and 3 in the chat if you don't care about animals. I'm going to swap in with Mel. Thank you for these questions. They're actually good questions.
Yeah, they're really genuine questions, and Fiona Maloney has been really open-minded today. So thank you so much.
Fiona just said thanks a lot. Fiona,
no.
thank you.
Please also, if you have any questions, follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram is It's Mel and Steve. It's Mel and Steve. Message us, ask us questions. We can send you in directions of help if you need it or anything like that.
Good question here from the Rift at 123. Genuine question. What about hunting like wolves and deer, coyotes, etc., etc.?
Yeah, no, we shouldn't be hunting anybody. We shouldn't be killing anybody. We're not wolves or anything like that. We're not in survival situation. Killing somebody who does not want to die is ethically wrong. That's why we're vegan, and that's why people don't kill other people who are good people. Like, that person has an interest to live. Your life is just as important to you as the wolf's life is to them, or the rabbit's life is to them, or the cow's life is to them. It's the most important thing they have, and the humans are taking that away from them for greed. We don't need to, there's no justification. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live stream. I just want to tell people again, we are outside a slaughterhouse. Outside a slaughterhouse where we've witnessed cows from the dairy industry going inside this place of evil. Also, cows from the beef industry. Cows from the beef industry are 18 months old when they get sentenced to a slaughterhouse.
Lottie, I think it's L2J. Thank you very much for your question. Genuinely curious about honey collection and what in this do you see as cruel? Thank you for your question.
Sorry, there literally was a bee that flew into my face there, and the irony of that. Yeah, so in the bee industry, the honey industry, basically they have to make these, they basically take sperm from the male, they basically squeeze that out of their body, they kill them, they clip the wings off the queen bee so she can't leave the hive. The bees go out and they collect nectar, bring that back, and basically honey is bees' food. Imagine you working so hard for like your money, and then someone comes along and they take all your money and they just leave you with like 2p. Like, that's like sugary water that so they take away the honey and they replace that with sugary water for those bees. Those bees aren't like wild bees, and in fact, by having the honey industry, it's killing out the wild bees, because the wild bees are not getting enough nectar for themselves, and it's horrific. It's absolutely terrible, the honey industry. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap this live stream and please subscribe.
That Gambit Rogue, this could be, a bit more education opportunity here. Can you name me some good vegan/vegetarian foods? I know what you're going to do with that. And I only eat fish and chicken, and I'm looking to expand my palate. And Fiona has also just put, I saw how they kill sheep. Why so brutally?
It's all about efficiency for the industry. They shove pigs in gas chambers because they can kill 6 in one. Sheep, they just don't care, basically.
T-Zen Jindaloma, thank you very much for your kind super thanks too.
Thank you. So the first thing was, I'll never advertise any vegetarian food. Vegetarian kills animals. Remember, I'm at a slaughterhouse, they're killing cows here from the dairy industry. They kill male chicks in the egg industry, and all the chickens from the egg industry get sentenced to a gas chamber. Veganism is a moral stance against the exploitation and use of animals. I definitely recommend checking out Vivera vegan chicken is so good. The Plant Chef vegan chicken in the frozen section is so good. You've got vegan Ben & Jerry's, but again, it's super easy with all these stuff. Like, if you go in your supermarket, they have a vegan section, they have a plant-based section that you can get vegan pucker pies and all sorts. Go and follow the Bodybuilding Vegan. He has free recipes and guides. He has one all about protein, because protein seems to be the biggest thing. And by the way, guys, it's not your fault that you don't know this information. This information isn't out there for you to see because the industry don't want it to be. The industry don't want you to know the truth, because if you knew the truth, you wouldn't be paying their wage anymore. So they're telling you meat, protein, milk for calcium. It's a load of rubbish. In fact, cow's milk actually makes your bones more brittle because it actually is too acidic for our environment. It takes away the phosphate calcium from our bones and makes them more brittle. You can get calcium from green leafy veg anyway. Is there any more questions in the chat?
Yeah, the Rifter put, what about other countries like Africa and others who can't survive without hunting?
That's not true. In fact, the poorest countries in the world are vegan by default. Like, they're eating plant-based by default because it's the cheapest foods in the world. And in fact, a lot of the plants that are grown in these countries are fed to animals who are then, the plants are shipped across the world to feed to the animals. Then the richer countries are feeding plants to the animals, then killing the animals.
Do you think it's funny how everyone will be like, I'm against, I don't like saying the word, livestock transportation.
Yeah.
But when you say we actually should have a moral obligation to get food to these countries so they stop exploiting animals, all of a sudden the logistics of that can't be done. But
Yeah,
we can logistically do this to animals because it's okay, because it's like what we've always done, culture,
and I think it's
tradition.
really weird if you're like living in a country where you bring up a completely random country to try and justify your situation.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget, when the plane crashed in the Andes and they had nothing to eat, they ate each other. They literally ate each other.
Fiona Manoli, if I want to turn vegan, what do you recommend?
Oh, thank you so much for that question and for having an open heart. I 100% recommend you making a promise to the animals today, saying, I'm never going to let you down. I'm always going to be vegan. I'm going to defend you with everything. I recommend watching Dominion to see everything. You've already watched a lot of stuff. Please go and watch the entire thing. It is a hard watch, I'm not going to lie to you, but it is a documentary that I wish I saw sooner.
It will explain a lot, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it'll explain
a
your
lot.
why. So your why is really solid. The next thing they need you to do is just to speak up for them. I can recommend maybe setting up an Instagram channel and just making some videos and shorts or sharing other people's content. Go and follow, actually this is someone you need to follow. Go and follow Joey Carbstrong. That's Joey Carbstrong. Follow him. He's the guy that turned us vegan. He's dropped massive investigations. He drops an investigation only a couple months ago on Heart's Head meats. Yeah, go and educate and learn and learn and learn and learn.
Oh, here comes
and just
that.
remember, you're right. Even if everybody else is against you, you're right. You're defending the animals, and what you're doing and what you're standing for is the right thing to do. So
Fiona,
thank you so much.
your heart's led you here today.
Yeah.
Your heart's
there's
led
a
you here.
reason.
And I want everyone in the chat to know this is an example of a number two, someone who is kind and compassionate, finding out the truth. And what's Fiona's immediate response? If I want to stop being responsible, how do I do it?
You know what I often say? I come to these places defending the animals, trying to find the light in the dark, and you're becoming the light today in the dark for the animals. There's another truck here that animals come on today. You think it's funny? You think it's funny? Why are you so weak? Why are you so weak? Where's your heart? See again, small Holden on his silly tractor laughing, thumbs up, thinking it's funny what they just done. They don't know how to handle their emotions, so they end up just being silly and making stupid comments. Don't be like the evil in the world, be the light in the world that the animals need. The animals are desperate, they can't ask you themselves. They can't speak for themselves. They scream and they cry, but they can't go up to you and say, hey, please go vegan, because if you're not vegan, I'm literally going to be killed. I'm going to be stabbed in the throat, and I need you to be.
Lottie, thank you very much for this question. Lottie's put, do you think polo or horse riding is bad?
Yeah.
I work at rescue horse stables, only 5 horses, absolute princess treatment, no riding, but I have ridden before. Have I been awfully abusive?
Okay, maybe without knowing it. It's just like how I once wasn't vegan. I used to pay for animals to be exploited for me. I wouldn't have said I was a bad person at the time. In fact, I said I was an animal lover. But I didn't understand. Without the knowledge and the understanding of your actions, you're innocent really, but your actions are doing something to the animals, but you don't know yet.
Fiona's put, thank you so much. This has changed my heart for the animals.
Oh, Fiona, thank you so much. I can't even explain how emotional that makes me feel, because they need good people so much. Thank you so much. Message us on Instagram if you need anything. And back to the horse rescue person. Thank you, by the way, for having a horse rescue. Thank you for that. I'm sure by now you probably understand the horse racing industry and how they're exploited and killed, and
understanding not to ride them at the rescue.
Yeah, and understanding not to ride them. What you've done in the past, you cannot change, but what you can do is learn from that, moving forward, and now you can defend those animals and then educate people, telling them like horse racing is horrible. The horses literally, like, it's so bad for their backs. They're not made for people to ride them. They're literally just, they're individuals. Like we weren't made for people to sit on our backs and carry. It's indoctrination as well. Let me explain a little bit more in a second. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap the live stream and subscribe. One of my family members used to go horse riding, and she did it because she loves horses. This kind of stereotype between like the jockey and the horse is one of love, isn't it? You think, oh, I want to be with the horses. Oh, and we ride them because that's what we do, and I love them, and they have the best treatment. But actually, those same people who are riding the horses have just had propaganda put upon them because the industry want their money. They want their money in the horse racing industry, in the betting industry, and all sorts of industries like that. But the animals need you defending them. So thank you for having a rescue for those dear horses.
100 days of motivation has put, I'm a 2. I'm not anti-vegan at all. I completely understand the feeling and I believe it's a good intention. I just don't believe that I'm evil for eating meat. I hunt myself humanely.
Okay, so just because you said some nice things at the beginning of your sentence doesn't make your action of killing someone nice. Even before I was vegan, I hated hunters. Because it was like I wasn't disconnected. I could see it. They used a gun, they shot the animal, they killed the animal, and I was like completely connected. I was like, that's horrible. Like trophy hunting, evil. How could you pick up a gun and shoot a defenseless animal? I do believe that does come from evil, but there are people who have been hunters who are now vegan. You can still change. Just because maybe you were brought up a certain way, maybe your parents did it, maybe they indoctrinated you. Cam from Christ, who did a documentary called Christspiracy, he was brought up in a hunting family, and actually, wasn't it when he went hunting, he couldn't do it again?
No, he killed an animal, didn't like it.
Felt wrong in his heart. Yeah, and many hunters often they say a prayer before they do it, and you think, why are you trying to say sorry in a prayer before you do an evil act? It's like your conscience already knows that's horrible to do, and we shouldn't do that. If you were in the wild and you were just walking about your day, it wouldn't be okay if I picked up a gun and shot you. Okay, it's no different for those poor animals. We can just be vegan, and then you truly are a good person. Once you know better, you do better.
Anyone joining the live stream, we're just stood outside the gates at the moment. Let's explain where we are, who we're here with, and what our objective is today.
Yeah, so guys, please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live, and please subscribe. We do this all the time, so if you have any more questions, you can always come back to live streams. We do this every single week. Many times a week. We're here today outside a slaughterhouse. That's where I'm at today, in collaboration with Animal Aid. Go to the link in our description, see the investigations Animal Aid have done on slaughterhouses here in the UK. See for yourself what happens. People don't know. When was the last time you saw gas chambers on TV? When was the last time you saw male chicks being blended up alive for eggs? When was the last time you saw these sweet little baby chickens in those farms who can't reach the water, dead on the floor? When was the last time you saw farrowing crates? Let me explain what farrowing crates are for someone who would never know, and I didn't know. When we investigated the pig farm, we actually took a non-vegan with us as well in this pig farm. It was horrible. It was a standard pig farm. It wasn't like a cruelty case, but we opened the door and we saw rows of cages, like cage. Inside these cages were mother pigs. Those cages were the same size as the mother pig, if not smaller. They were there giving birth to their babies. They're called farrowing crates. These pigs will be in them for around 5 to 6 weeks, giving birth to their babies. We saw a mother who couldn't move on concrete floor, dead babies all around her. She was nose to nose with a baby who had been killed. Blood on her face where she must have been trying to cuddle her baby. She's stuck. I saw rats eating babies in there. saw tail clippings on the floor, because in the pig industry what they do is they take scissors and they cut their tails off with no anaesthetic. They rip their genitals out of them. I saw that the piglets had umbilical cords on, but their tails have been cut. Their teeth have been ground down. Because they farm them in such close proximity, they start cannibalizing on each other, and the farmers want to savor their flesh, right? So they do that to savor it. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Please double tap this live, please subscribe. Just gonna switch back in with Steve.
No, stay where you are. Let's,
Oh, okay. Sorry, Steve was saying something else. Sometimes me and Steve have to talk in sign because we know the industry watches our live streams. So another chat. The waste thing coming out. What is that thing, do you think?
I think it's waste.
Like blood waste?
Yeah, I think that because we're so remote here, I don't think that they've got I don't know.
Don't know. Well, basically, whenever you put a drone up in these places, what you see is big containers of blood. You see heads that have been de-skinned. You see legs, limbs, flesh everywhere. It's evil. I just want to say thank you so much for everybody being in this live stream today. Thank you for having an open heart. Thank you for your genuine questions. Thank you for those of you who have gone vegan today for the animals. Never give up on the animals. Always do what's right no matter what. Please go and watch Dominion on YouTube and see what happens to these dear animals and live vegan for them. Go and watch the investigation in the description done by Animal Aid. I think it will open your eyes. Thank you.
It's just so harrowing thinking that these gates are the last gates that them animals will see.
Oh, horrible. Hate it. Evil, evil.